Whether you got a brand new Galaxy Watch Ultra, Galaxy Watch 8 or Galaxy Watch 8 Classic, the battery life is always going to be an issue for you. So today I'm going to give you my best tips and tricks to get more battery out of your Galaxy Watch and maximize the time between charges. And I want to start off with protecting your battery. Go to your Galaxy Wear app, head to settings and then battery protection. This will help prevent your watch from overcharging and then keep the battery running as best it can for as long as it can. And this leads me nicely onto my next tip: make use of sleep tracking. Sleep tracking will stop you from leaving the watch on overnight and overcharging. Samsung does of course have things in place to stop this, like the battery protection feature we just looked at, but even the heat from the charger can degrade your battery. So start wearing your Galaxy Watch overnight and charge in the mornings as soon as you get up. My next tip is a super basic one, and I actually want to back it with evidence. Turn off your always on display. I know it's hard to hear, but no one really cares about your smartwatch and certainly can't see your always on display, and most of the time neither can you. It is likely the single biggest battery drain on a Galaxy Watch ever. I've even seen this feature take up to 50% of my battery life away, so please do turn off your always on display if you want to save some battery life. This does lead me nicely into my next tip. If you do want to maximize the time between charges, pick an AMOLED watch face. So these are simpler watch faces on black backgrounds and they help save a little bit of battery over time, and they still look pretty good in my opinion. Basically, the black pixels will be turned off, meaning you'll be using less power throughout the day. You can find a few of these AMOLED watch faces in my Watch Face Wars series, so do make sure you subscribe for that. Now next is sleep mode, but with a twist. If you swipe down from the top and tap this button, this will put your watch into sleep mode. It stops your screen from coming on, blocks notifications and much more, but there is a crucial setting to check with this just to help things along. Go to your Galaxy Wear app, modes and routines, sleep, go to turn on automatically and select a time in the evening where you like to start to wind down. This will help keep your battery life a little bit more predictable so you're not always guessing. And bonus tip, if you really want to enhance this feature, you can go ahead and add battery saving mode to this. You will lose out on continuous heart rate tracking though. And speaking of, my next tip is just that. Turn on battery saving mode. It's a super simple one, but it really will maximize your battery life. It just stops continuous heart rate tracking on your Galaxy Watch amongst other things. It even lowers your CPU power so your Galaxy Watch isn't using quite as much energy. And if you do have a more predictable routine, it could be worth setting up a mode to automatically turn this feature on, say when you're at work in the office, so that your Galaxy Watch isn't constantly tracking all of your metrics every second of the day. You can do this by adding an action, going to the Galaxy Watch and then tapping power saving. And then bonus tip again, you can actually pair this with my previous watch face tip and set a specific watch face to be set once this mode is activated. You can set this mode to come on automatically or manually, whatever suits your day best. Now we've spoken a lot about continuous heart rate tracking, but my next tip is if you really don't feel the need to have this feature on, you can just turn it off without having to use the power saving feature. Go to your Galaxy Wear app again, watch settings, Samsung Health, and then at the top there you'll see the heart rate and stress. For both of these, you'll have the option to select manual only or every 10 minutes while still. You won't get quite as accurate results throughout the day, but many of us just don't need to have this feature on all day, so I'd recommend going for the every 10 minutes option at least. Next tip is a super easy one. Every now and then you might want to make sure you do this simple trick. Swipe up from your watch base like so, tap this icon and close all apps. You can also go into the active in background section to see if there's anything you really don't need. All it's doing is closing apps that you weren't using and stopping them from draining precious battery. Following on from this tip, everyone uses their watch differently, so to see what's draining your battery life, go to the Wear app, watch settings, battery, and then you can actually see which apps are taking up the most battery life. You'll also be able to see how much battery you've used since your last charge and how much you've got left. So it's a really good feature to check out to learn where your battery life is actually going. Next, I want you to go to your settings. You can also do this on your watch. Go to device care and then hit the cleanup button. This will stop anything unnecessary running in the background. A super simple one just to save a little bit of extra battery life. Now, whilst we're in the settings, I feel like I should show you Samsung's most controversial feature yet, which can actually give your Galaxy Watch up to 15 days of battery life. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I just need to show you where this feature is. It's watch only mode. Head over to the battery, scroll down, and you'll see the watch only mode. It does exactly what it says on the tin. It will make your watch tell the time, and that is it. As pointless as it sounds, there is one use case that I have found quite handy over the years, and that is if my watch is on 5 to 10% and I just know that I'm not going to get through the day, I will actually turn this feature on because I'd rather have a watch that tells me the time than tell me nothing. Other than that, it's pretty pointless. Anyway, next up is a super simple one. Make sure you're up to date. Samsung is always rolling out little tweaks and patches, so best to keep up with it all. Go to your settings, scroll down, tap software update, and see if you've got anything to install there. Now for another quick, easy battery saving tip, swipe down from the top, scroll across until you see this icon and turn it off. This is your GPS, and most of the time, unless you're actually using maps or running, you really don't need this feature on. So to save a little bit of battery life, keep it off until you actually need it. Next, a few display settings. Really obvious one, put auto brightness on so you're not wasting battery in darker environments, but also check your gestures. It's a really handy tool, so don't turn it off if you don't feel the need to save every single ounce of battery, but raised wrist to wake can obviously cause your display to turn on accidentally at times, so turn it off to minimize the amount of times this happens. You can set your display to power on with a double tap on the screen or by pressing the side key, which is probably a bit of a safer bet. You can also adjust the screen timeout here. I'd recommend going for the shortest time possible to maximize your battery savings, but obviously just use these tips and tricks to suit your lifestyle. My next tip used to be so much better with wireless power sharing, but since this no longer works with the Galaxy Watch 8 series, it's actually quite handy just to carry your Galaxy Watch charger with you, and in an emergency you can just go ahead and plug it into your phone like so for some extra juice. Now next up, take a look at what's new on the brand new Galaxy Watch 8 Classic. Click on the link in the top left or right hand corner now to go to that. For now though, I've been Alex, and this has been Tech It Easy. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.